Hey guys, it's Daryl here. Happy January 2nd, the second day of 2020. It is 3:40 a.m. here on the East Coast. I woke up very early this morning. I think a lot of people probably will. Getting back to work, kind of an anxious feeling. Back to the gym today and everything. A lot of stuff to get done. I woke up at 2:30, so I figured I'd start researching a video. I started thinking about Melania Trump. A lot of people, a lot of my family, friends, oh, you should respect her. She's the first lady of the United States. And you know what? I'm gonna make another video about her. I'm gonna stop it right there. I was gonna go into everything, how she got into the country, and Donald Trump and everything, and her Einstein visa. I'm gonna stop it right there. I saw a picture of her with her raincoat on that said, "I don't care, do you?" Now, I pay a lot of it. Like Bo said, we're a lot of us watching this right now and watching his channel. Our hobby is politics. His video is saying about how we should become more active and do something at least once a month, which I totally agree with. But this isn't about him or that either. My point here is that I forgot what that raincoat was about. What it said, "I don't care, do you?" on the back of Melania's raincoat. So I looked it up quick. The kids, the migrant kids being held in our custody. In 2019, over 69,000, almost 70,000 children were held in captivity on our border. 70,000 children between infants, 2 years old, up to 17. 70,000. That's enough to fill a football stadium. Just children. Then I started reading about a 3-year-old girl who was molested. Not by... I heard stories of this, but when I actually read it, it freaking disgusted me. Right now, there's 4,000 kids right now. 4,000 kids being held in United States custody without their parents. 4,000, enough for a small town. Now, how do you watch 4,000 kids? You don't. This 3-year-old girl was molested not by a foster parent, not by U.S. Custom Guards, which I didn't know, but by other children. And here's another little interesting fact. Only 3% of these children are from Mexico. They're mostly from Nicaragua, the Honduras, Central America. Why? Because of our policies. Because our policies in backing corrupt presidents, putting in our own puppet governments, trying to keep communism out, trying to toy with the elections. We prop up our own corrupt people in there. Creates gangs, creates counterinsurgency. Creates murder, creates families trying to get the fuck out of there, coming here. We create our own fucking problems. All right. This 3-year-old girl was woke up in the middle of the night and molested by another child repeatedly. She would start crying all night. She would start urinating herself every night, all night. The father was frantic trying to get his child back. He eventually took a DNA test. He got sent back to the Honduras. A month later, I think it was last June, she was sent back. This girl is messed up. She won't come anywhere near her father. When they put her on the phone to talk to her father, she said, "I hate you, Daddy. You left me." She is messed up. Another thing, these countries, these are poorer countries. These countries don't have access to social services, to mental health like we do. These kids are done. These kids are done. That girl's fucked. She's messed up for life. And we wonder where these gangs come from, these drug gangs, these MS-13s. Oh my God, it must be because they're Spanish or something. I don't know. We're creating our own fucking problems here. The government, all the corrupt governments that we tried to prop up down there, the drugs going through, And now, on top of this, imagine the thousands and thousands of kids that we sent back there. Then I started reading up too. I didn't give this a lot of thought, and I'm mad at myself for this. Of what putting a child, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, pulling them away from their parents, not for an hour. You know, if you lose your kid in a Target, you freak, right? I don't have any children, but my mother, I was a rebellious little kid, and I got away from my mom quite a few times, and they freak. Your parents freak. Imagine, not for a minute, not for an hour, not for a day, for weeks, months, you don't have your kid. You don't know where your kid is. You can't get to your children. Imagine the freaking panic. Their parents, all parents, just because they're Spanish parents, just because they're parents from Honduras, does not make them different than any American parent. They're going to lose their fucking mind. So these kids go back. And what happens to these children in custody? I was reading about the anxiety, the terror, the permanent PTSD that these kids are getting. And they're going to go back there with all these issues. The molestation and that goes on in between the kids in there. They can't watch all these kids. So there's going to be thousands and thousands of kids going back to Central America that basically are going to freaking hate America. They're going to hate their parents. So what happens to kids like that? What happens to those kids here in America? They usually join gangs and get involved in drugs. What happens to kids that get involved in gangs and drugs in Central America? What do you think? Do you think that's going to come back to us at all? Probably. You know, so anyway, it all went back to Melania and her jacket. I don't care. Do you? I can't even put into words. Now, then I read up a little more on that jacket. And her spokesman said, well, there was no hidden message. It was self-explanatory. Meaning, point blank. I don't care. These kids come in here illegally. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if they're traumatized, if their parents are losing their fucking minds every minute of every day, can't eat, can't sleep, or going insane. They deserve it. Because after all, man, they were just trying to get their kids out of these drug-infested neighborhoods that the United States created with our corrupt governments. So, yeah, it's all their fault. They brought their kids into this. Oh, my God. And out of all people, Melania, not even a United States citizen. She's from Slovenia. Okay? Don't know much about the country. She attended, I wanted to know, she applied for the Einstein visa in 1998. She came here in 1996. She says she didn't date a lot. She was very beautiful. She dropped out of some kind of university, the Slovenia University of Architecture and whatever, and design. She was there for less than a year. Dropped out. No degree, no nothing. Just dropped out. But she started dating Donald Trump before in 1997, 1998, and then she applied for this Einstein visa. And it says, you know, they look for people, they mention Nobel Prize and stuff like that, people that have high intelligence, that are scientists. But they're looking for a particular, something they can put on the application that's going to stand out. Or they have the backing of a prominent person, like they mentioned Sir, I forgot what his name is, that English guy with the airline from Virgin Airlines. You know, if they have the backing of a prominent U.S. citizen, like Donald Trump, yeah, like him, then that's going to count for something on this application. So basically, and then here's another thing, her lawyers will not allow anybody to see the application. So it's speculation, but it's pretty clear how she got in here. She has no degree, no nothing. Supposedly she speaks a couple languages, supposedly. I have yet to hear her speak English, but anyway. Yeah, so it's pretty clear. Donald Trump's glowing words that he admires, translation, I'm banging this pretty girl. And she'd be a great model. And she'd, model. Hey, models pay money in taxes too. So I guess she's contributing something, or she was contributing something. Now she's actually getting paid by the people of America. But anyway, that jacket, I don't care. Do you? So she was brought here because she was pretty. She got in this country because she was a pretty girl, sexy girl. Because she was noticed by a prominent, big mouth, boisterous, loudmouth man who tries to get anything he wants. And that's basically how she got in. She caught his attention. If she hadn't caught Trump's attention, I don't know. I don't know if her hot ass and her pretty face would have got her citizenship. I mean, that's really, come on, that's what it comes down to, right? Hot ass, nice set of tits, and a pretty face. Got her a citizenship here. Got her the key to the Golden City, man. That's the truth of America. Meanwhile, we have these children coming in. God knows what they could end up doing in their life. God, these parents, who knows what they are? Who knows their potential? But because they're coming from the poor country that the United States fucked up with its policies, and they're brown, oh, no. There's very few hot asses and nice titties that we're going to let come in from down there. There are going to have to be some pretty spectacular titties and asses and pretty faces if we're going to let brown people in. Come on. And that's basically our policy, isn't it? Well, that's it in a nutshell for this morning. Not the best way for me to start off my first work day of 2020, but that's where it led. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great, I keep calling today Tuesday. Have a great Thursday, January 2nd.